Hello and welcome. I'm Daryl Webb, and today here at the Areté studios we are going to be making pasta asciutta aglio e olio, which means pasta with garlic, fettuccine with garlic and oil, olive oil. So I've got some water boiling right here in the pan. I'm going to get this going first because by the time this is ready, we'll be done with the rest. This is very easy. They'll be putting the recipe up on the screen for you so you can see what's in here. Basically, I don't really follow a recipe very much. So what I do is I make sure that I just keep a nice balance of things, and you'll see how we go here. So I'm going to take this lid off and we're going to drop this in. I've got a little bit of salt in this water. Some people put oil in their pasta water, but certain people say that if you put oil in there, then the sauce won't get into it later. So let's see how we're doing here. Let's boost this power up. And get that pasta in there. Make sure it's all stirred up so it doesn't stick to each other. Get a little bit more in there. Looks like it's probably all going to fit. This is a pound of Barilla pasta. This isn't an ad for Barilla, but I must say when I was in Italy once, we were visiting friends in Pisa, and after lunch I decided to take the garbage out while they were cleaning up, and inside the garbage bin for the whole apartment complex, it was nothing but Barilla boxes. So I took that as a sign that that's the authentic thing. But like I said, this isn't a commercial. Any pasta will do. If people have issues with gluten, you can get gluten-free pasta. This will work with that. You can do whole wheat pasta if you want to have that. So I'm using regular plain old pasta. Pasta asciutta, literally it means dried pasta. So we're using dried pasta out of the box. Let me boost up this power a little bit and get that boiling again. And what's the box say for how long we boil it? It says 12 minutes. So I'm going to set a timer just to be on the safe side. And that's for al dente. Al dente literally means sticks to the teeth. So we want it so that it's a little bit firm, not crunchy, just a little bit firm. Timer, and we're going to say 12 minutes and start. All right. So looks like that's doing all right. Let me stir that up a little more, make sure it doesn't stick. And let's kick up that power a little bit more. And we'll keep an eye on that. All right, so now that that's going, we're going to let that set for a little bit. I'm going to leave that just a little bit off the side so it doesn't boil over. We'll keep an eye on it because it just might. How's that power? Just right. So let's get rid of this box. Now then, while this is cooking, we can be working on the other things, and by the time that's finished, we'll be able to do the rest of the herbs and move from there. So I grew up in Sonoma. First off, I'm going to save a little bit of this parsley as garnish. I'm just going to set it right there on our plate. I grew up in Sonoma next to a lady who came directly from Italy. Her name was Mrs. Rabboni, and I couldn't pronounce her name. I was 3 years old. So I called her Boney. She couldn't pronounce my name, so she called me Dale. And so Boney and Dale were best friends. I would go over and rake her leaves with her, and then she would make me pasta asciutta. And I was just, ever since a little kid, this has been one of my favorite things. So I'm going to chop this up. This is the parsley. We want to make it semi-small, not completely tiny. So we want to keep some of the leaves as they are. This is regular parsley. I like it because it's a little brighter tasting. You can also use Italian flat leaf parsley, that's fine. And if you get some stems in there, it doesn't really matter. I tried to keep the stems kind of out of it. So that's pretty good right there. I'm going to just set those over there to the side because we need to have some space for the garlic. Okay. Great. Okay. So garlic. We're going to use maybe 4 to 5. It depends on who your crowd is that's going to be over. If they like garlic, go for it. If not, they're not going to like it. Which one here looks better? This one. No, let's go with this one. So I'm going to use 4 cloves today. All right. And let's just put those back over there out of the way. And I'm going to kind of get rid of some of these excess edges here, the leaves off the edge of the garlic. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to scrape these away so we have this nice and clean. Okay, oh, we're starting to boil over. Let's turn that volume down a little bit. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So, quick way for garlic. I trim off the back side, the place where the stem side of it is. Clear that away. And the quick way to really get garlic going is basically, just make sure that's clean, you just take the knife, smash it. And then take the knife and smash it, and smash it, and smash it. Now, the peeling comes right off, and it's almost ready to be cut with the smaller pieces into smaller pieces. We get the rest of this off. So it's pretty much on its way to being chopped up. Oh, there's another bit of there. So we'll chop this up fairly fine. We don't want big chunks of garlic coming up in people's food while they're eating, because they'll freak out unless they're like me and love garlic. This was served in the Grand Hotel in Rome, and the people in Italy thought it was so funny because it's the easiest thing to make and it's made in all the households. It's a regular staple in Italy. We want this fairly fine. That looks pretty good. So leave that there. And how are we doing on the pasta? We have 7 minutes. So we're going to let that boil a little longer there. So the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's amazing. It really is leaning. And the whole area is fun because they've got a lot of different people come there to visit. So it's a really nice place. They got a park around it. And the time I was there, you could not go to the top because it just wasn't stable. But I think they've fixed that now. All right. Get this stuff sort of cleaned up. We've got plenty of time. I thought we were going to be short of time. So while we're doing that, let me take this, get the raw garlic off of that. I'm going to trim this up for our garnish. I'm just going to pull them apart, get those ready. That looks pretty good. All right. So now, let's clean this off. Mrs. Raboni was so nice. After we go out and work in her garden, she would have coffee. I was 3 years old and she was giving me coffee, and it was Italian coffee, really strong, espresso. And she would make robin stew, which was with real robins. I did not know that, but then they made it illegal and people couldn't do the robin stew anymore. But most of all, I remember she would have the Italian cookies, the Stella d'Oro cookies. She would keep them in the freezer. So to this day, I always keep the Stella d'Oro cookies in the freezer. Okay, let's check this here. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to kick up the power a little bit. So about 4.5 minutes left, it looks like. Her husband had this fancy car. It was a huge car. It must have been from the 40s. Her husband had passed away, but it sat in the barn. And one day I was out over by the barn working on some things, and I noticed that there was something, shiny in there, and she let me go in and take a look. I couldn't go inside the car. She wouldn't let me go inside the car because it was her husband's car, a very sacred thing. But it was a beautiful, big, long limousine type car. And it was amazing to see it. She was such a nice lady. And I went back to visit her after I was in high school. And she was just the same jolly self as ever. Had millions of pictures of her family up on the shelf and on the piano. And this is getting there. All right. Great, nice and clean. So other ingredients we're going to be using, we're going to use some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, salt, and a little bit of red pepper, just a little bit, because if you put too much and people don't like spicy food, they will not be happy. Okay, how are we doing? 3 minutes. So you can see that, by the time you get this done and get this stuff ready, you're only spending about 15 to 20 minutes to actually make a whole dinner. And if you wanted to have, say, Italian sausage in it, you can put a little bit of Italian sausage or prosciutto, like ham, some kind of meat in there if you like to have meat. But this is not only vegetarian, but since there's no animal products, there are no animal products in here, then it's also vegan. Great, so how are we doing? Another 2.5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting this ready. I'm going to put about a 1/4 cup or so of olive oil in here. You may want to come in and check this out. And just kind of let it get around the pan. Get it ready. And then it's going to go by really quickly here once we get going. I'm going to end up setting garlic. Got garlic on the plate. This is also very inexpensive. You can do this for about, if you had the oil already and the spices, the parsley and pasta and garlic, really inexpensive. And it's really kind of fancy. Okay, we're almost there. 1 minute. Great. Let's stir it again, make sure nothing's sticking. And if you wanted to do spinach pasta or sun-dried tomato pasta, you could do tricolore. So you would have regular pasta, red and green, which are also the colors of the Italian flag. So you can make it look nice and sparkly that way. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to test it. It's getting to that point where we're almost down to the time. I'm going to grab one of these. Some people say all you have to do is sling it up against the wall. I don't want to have to clean the wall. So I'm going to let it cool down here just a little bit so I don't burn my mouth, and I'm going to check it. Just see if it's just the right chewy texture, and then we'll be moving right along here. No. Yes. Just right. Okay. So let's stop this. Put the lid on it. I'm just going to set it aside. It can sit in the water and it'll be just right. Okay, so let's dry off the cooker here. Done. All right. I'm going to set this up here, and we're going to kick it back on. Start. Come on, start. And get the cooker going here, the temperature. There we go. Okay, we're gonna let that oil get a little bit hot there. All right, so we're gonna start putting these herbs and stuff in here. I'm gonna set this aside. I'm gonna let the oil heat up just to where it starts to shimmer a little bit. And it's gonna go really quickly. And it's getting to that point now. We can test it out by tossing a little piece of garlic in there. Not quite ready, but almost. Yeah, looks about right. I'm going to put the rest of the garlic in. Okay. All right, and then we're going to put in a little bit of red pepper flakes. Now I'm just going to shake a tiny, tiny bit in there. And I'm going to use this just to be safe. I didn't bring a spoon, so let's just put a little bit of that on there. A little much. That's right, that's good. Let's make sure I get that off of there so no one has it on their pasta. Okay. All right. So you may want to check this out. Down in here you can see that it's nice and brown. It's starting to get slightly brown. Now we're going to do things really quickly here, so you may want to come right in and take a look. I'm going to back off the power a little bit, and it's turning a little bit brown. Hopefully you can see that. And now I'm going to take this parsley and drop it in. You don't want to cook it very long. You just want it to change color. And you'll notice it's still green, and then it turns a vibrant green. And we're just about there. Okay, it's turning a bright green now. And that's it. That's all we do. Then we're going to put some salt in it. Just a little bit. Okay. Stir that in a little bit. Okay. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the pasta, bring it over here close so I don't spill stuff. And rather than strain it, I'm just going to pick up some and let it drain right there. It's okay to have a little bit of that pasta water in there. Helps with the sauce. Oh, some of that stuck together. Okay. And I'll put just a little bit more. All right. Some of these stuck together. All right. And this should be enough for now. I'm going to leave the rest in there. I'm going to kind of stir it around. Get it all coated with the oil. Let's move this pasta out of the way. This way we can get it all coated with oil. And get the parsley and garlic all blended in. Now, if you like black pepper is cool on this too. Or if you want to put some Parmesan on here, Parmesan is nice. Flaked Parmesan would be nice. Some of these stuck together. So let's get rid of that one. I'm just going to set that one aside. It is a squid. Okay. All right. All right, I think we're about there. Get some more of that parsley mixed in. I think we're ready. Let's take our garnish off for a sec. And then we'll just drop it right in there. Get all that garlic and parsley in there just right. Okay. Then we'll just garnish it with a little bit of fresh parsley. And there we have it. Pasta asciutta, aglio e olio fettuccine, or fettuccine with garlic and oil. I hope that you enjoy it, and thank you for joining us.